Welcome everyone to the Woman Entrepreneur Series. My name is Robin Bennett and I'm excited to bring you this series where women entrepreneurs will share with you their strategies to help you grow your online business from the inside out. And today I'm really excited for today's guest expert, Lisza Crisalle. Hi Lisa.
Hi, I'm excited too.
So I'm going to read you a little bit about Lisa and then we are going to dive right into the questions. So Lisza Crisalle brings more than 25 years experience in training and coaching to the fields of health and nutrition. After majoring in exercise physiology, she tied in her background in fitness to the business world with a degree in business administration and a minor in marketing. Lisa continued in the fitness industry as an NPC top 5 figure competitor and trainer for swimming, skiing, and martial arts to aerobics and indoor cycling. Wow. After leaving the corporate world over 15 years ago, she now works with the fitness and wellness industry on creating highly profitable businesses designed to support an up-level lifestyle. Welcome.
Yes, awesome. I'm very happy to be here, Robin.
Me too. I'm going to ask you right off the bat. You work right now, obviously, helping businesses, but can we just start with, how did you start? Because if I'm not mistaken, you worked for a law firm.
Yes, I did. I have this really crazy path to where I am today. And I'm not going to give the whole thing because we'd be here all day talking about it. But as you mentioned in there, I majored in exercise physiology at Portland State University, and I was certain that I was going to be working with professional sports teams. That was my goal. I knew that was where I was going to go. And as most of you guys all know, things don't always work out exactly as we plan. And at that time, the economy was really tight, and those kind of positions are really hard to come by. And I ended up completely out of the blue working in the legal field. And I sort of fell into this position entirely by chance. I started out as a legal receptionist, became a legal secretary. Then I got a degree as a paralegal. So I became a paralegal, worked my way up through the law firm to the point where I just said, I have this business and marketing background, and I literally ended up in managing law firms and got very, very involved with that. That was really it ended up becoming my career. 20 years in managing law firms. I was very, very involved.
Wow.
Very large events. I worked with the American Bar Association and the Legal Administrators Association, and really got into, just building the community and working at a very high corporate level in Orange County, California. And so here I am, like 20 years into it, and I met my future husband and everything changed. So while I was managing law firms, I was a member at a very high-end club in California called the Sports Club LA, Sports Club Irvine. They're no longer around anymore, but my husband, Lucho, was the head dietitian for the entire sports club corporation. And he had developed a custom nutrition program that they implemented throughout all of their facilities. And it ended up that I had some dear friends of mine that had been going to him and had amazing results. They were already in good shape to begin with, but it's like they dialed in their nutrition to a whole nother level. And they kept saying, you got to go meet Lucho, and you got to meet Lucho. And I'm like, who's this Lucho dude, right? Who is this guy? But they had great results, and I'm sitting there going, well, I have a background in exercise physiology. Like, I know what I'm doing. But here's the big but. Even though I kind of thought I already knew it all, I wasn't getting the results that I wanted. Okay? This is key, you guys. I wasn't getting the results I wanted. And when you become aware of that, the next step is, what do you need to do to get those results? And I realized that I needed to have somebody else look in and see what I could not see for myself. Mm-hmm. This holds true across whether you're working on yourself personally or whether you're working on your business.
Yeah.
And you and I are going to talk about that. So I ended up going to him and hiring him to be my dietitian. And long story short, the rest is history. And he put the ring on it, and here we are. So along that route, my husband he ended up leaving the sports cabaret and he started a partnership with another guy in the fitness industry. And he developed what's now today our Certified Fitness Nutrition Specialist program. It's a CEU accredited nutrition education course. And it's actually the original one in the marketplace. And we got connected at a very high level with some CEU accreditation, and have been offering this for almost 16 years now. Mm-hmm. And so, along the way, after he went off on his own, I was kind of handling the administrative stuff behind the scenes, kind of helping out and doing the stuff behind the scenes.
You were still at the law firm?
I was still at the law firm, and then running his office, like behind the scenes, right, in the evenings. Just kind of keeping everything organized and starting to do some marketing. And then, it's a really long story, but I got involved in online marketing training, and I started getting, I'm like this idea person. So I'm always like, we got to do this and we got to do this. And mm-hmm. He's like, all right, you need to leave the law firm and just come on full time. So after 20 years in the law firm, I stepped away. It was very, very scary. And we just stepped away and built our company and never looked back. So
that's amazing.
That's the short version.
So you talk about you want to work with athletes. You end up in a law firm. 20 years.
20 years.
Like this is just like a small gig here. 20 years and invested onto working with your husband full time.
Yes, and working in some level with professional athletes again. So that was really cool. So we work in the health, fitness, and wellness industry. Some are athletes, but also now we primarily focus on working with the business owners.
And how is it that you guys help business owners within that industry? Because you were saying earlier that you did like marketing.
So initially, the marketing was for our primary company, which is called Exercise and Nutrition Works. So we were doing some really fun things. I got involved in the online marketing world. I connected up with, again, I don't know if you guys know these names, but Allie Brown. She's very well known. She was back in the day the e-zine queen. And I actually attended her very, very first conference she ever did. 30 people in the room. And out of those 30, I would say 20 of them have gone on to make that are very big names that I could throw down right now, but I'm not going to name names.
Wow.
But anyway, really big names in that room. So that first conference was actually less than a month before my wedding. And I just said, I'm going to go to this. Like, this is incredible. I want to do this thing called an e-zine. Like, I got to learn. This is perfect for our company, right? So I go to her conference and I dive in. And I literally got out the first e-zine for our company 2 weeks before our wedding. And granted, you guys, I planned and did our whole wedding, which was no small feat because it was, we went all out. But anyway, so, I'm kind of a multitasker anyway. So I got out our first e-zine and it was a huge success. Nobody was doing it back then. It was very Allie was teaching, really cutting it. Nobody was doing it. And then after our wedding, we got the e-zine going. We had incredible success with it. And then we continued to work with Allie. We were also in her very first mastermind group that she ever put together. Again, you guys, some really big names in that mastermind group that were dear friends of ours to this day. So I'm kind of throwing that out and mentioning that because, again, if you're, part of doing business and being an entrepreneur is connecting to people.
Yeah.
You never know when those connections will come back in. And those were lifelong connections that I developed, right? These are lifelong people. I could pick up the phone and call these people and we'll be just like old home week, right? Because we really spent some really key time together and worked in these masterminds together. And we all committed, right? We all made that commitment to up level, right? To work at a deeper level. And what I love about masterminds also is that we have different industries. So it was always about thinking outside the box. So those connections that I made 15 years ago, you guys are still dear friends of mine today. And still I stay in touch with them. And so honestly, we just sort of developed that and took it, and then our business just kept we started growing and expanding from there. And, we now work as business coaches, primarily in the health, fitness, wellness, and nutrition, area. We spent a few years going really at the high corporate level. We had a 5-year contract with Gold's Gym International. We had a long-term contract with Max Muscle Stores, a lot of other high corporate level accounts. And we realized pretty early on that while that was really exciting to have these big accounts, our passion is really working with the entrepreneurs, working at the small business and entrepreneur level. That's because we know, we're in the trenches, right? We are doing it. And so being able to share that forward, because Lucho and I have invested literally hundreds of thousands of dollars into up-leveling our business and our personal development.
Yeah.
We feel that we are able to share that forward and bring an insight in to businesses for people, that are at different points in their cycle, what we call the core entrepreneurial path. That's one of the areas that we work on. It's called CEP, your core entrepreneurial path. So
can you tell me, now I have a whole bunch of questions now.
Okay.
I want to ask for that. So let's go back to say 15 years ago. Some of the stuff that you learned when you were doing Allie's mastermind. I sound like I know her. Allie's mastermind.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you learned then? I mean, we know about the e-zines, but is there one thing in particular that you think still holds true today?
Well, that's a great question, because so much has changed in the last 15 years. The way we market today is very, very different than the way we marketed 15 years ago. It really is. So the core concepts carry through, but the strategies and the tactics are different, right?
Yeah.
So it's understanding, and actually this is really great. That's why we developed what we call the core entrepreneurial path, because the core pieces are understanding where you are in the life cycle of your business, right? And what is the next piece to focus on based upon, what you have or where you're going and what your goals are, right? So the core, it doesn't change. And so that really helped us understand the process, the entrepreneurial growth process, okay? But strategies and tactics completely different than what we were doing 15 years ago. When we did, it was one of our very first e-zines, and it was actually, we have this great, I'll just share the story. It was very early on, and so at the time, we also had a lot of products that we were selling. We had a lot of clients that bought their nutritional supplements from us. So we had a whole, quite a array of nutritional supplements that were particular products that we, were involved with at some level. So my husband has a background in working with companies and understanding formulations and what the quality control on different products, because, protein, for example, varies widely from really cheap stuff to really high quality. So we had very high standards on the products that we offer to our clients and the people buying. So one of our companies that we've actually been with for over 15 years, we still sell their products. It's called Bionutritional Research Group, BNRG, and they have something called Protoway, and which is a protein source, and something called Power Crunch, which are these protein bars. Okay, and they're like freaking candy bars. They're incredible, right? So in the early days, this was 15 years ago, they only had a couple of flavors, but Lucho and the owner of the company were very good friends, and they lived, their office was 5 minutes from us. So Lucho was very actively involved with their formulations and their flavors and things. So we had first insider knowledge on when they had a new flavor coming out. So they actually had this whole new, I can't remember if it was, they had peanut butter, I don't know, something. Anyway, it was all exciting. So we did this in one of our e-zines. We did this promo. So sort of pre-launch, you guys might know that term, pre-launch. So we knew that it was coming out, but we didn't have the exact date. We had an idea of when it was going to be. So we did a pre-sale. So we said, okay, you guys, big news, this amazing new flavor is coming out. We're super excited. You can place your order today, and you'll be one of the first people to get the bars when they come out, right? So our orders, like we sent out this e-zine and we had a lot of fun with it, right? So we're like, this is so exciting and we're getting this, right? And so the orders are like, boom, 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 they're coming in, they're coming in, they're coming in, and we're all excited. We're like, oh my God, this is crazy, right? And it was all done with this e-zine. Like this was so much more effective than just sending out an email. Like we had a newsletter, right?
Mhm.
That's what e-zine, an electronic magazine or newsletter, as most people call them today. An electronic e-zine that now we were communicating with our clients and our prospects on a regular basis, right?
Yeah.
Regular communication. And they got to know us, they got to know our personality. And so when we announced this whole, like, get this before anybody else can get it, right? This is like, you know, it's like getting Beyonce tickets before they're for sale, right? Like, right? I don't know. So we literally had like this really fun event surrounding that, and it was the most exciting thing. And then the day that the shipment arrived, we actually did this whole like big to do, and I don't know if we did video back then or not, but it was like this huge announcement, and the orders are coming in, and we're opening boxes, and the paper's flying, and we're trying to fill all these orders, and it was just like this really fun and exciting thing. So again, this was, you know, at a different time, and understanding, you know, marketing and how do you like increase the, you know, how do you make something be fun and exciting and want people like can't wait for it.
Yeah,
And one of our launches that I guess you could say that we did before like launches were in, right?
Wow. And so tell me a little bit, what are some of the core principles, you know, like that a business needs? Like, because you're saying like it doesn't really change from 15 years ago to now.
Right. So the number one thing, and this is really the number one thing that we focus on when we do either our private client meetings, or we also do something called the boardroom, which I'll share with you guys later. And the number one thing we focus on immediately is getting clarity on your business and your message. Getting clarity. Like, have you taken the time to sit down and know who your avatar is, who it is that you are serving, right? What is it? What is your business goal? Where do you see your business going? Like, what is because if you're just doing business to do business and you're helping people, that's fine and well, but it's like, the analogy is, you know, you want to drive from California to New York. And if you don't have a map on how to get there, you know, you could be taking a whole lot of wrong turns on the way, right? It could take you a very long time. But when you are really clear on where you are today and what your goal is, then as you map that out, and that's what we do, we help you map out the process to get to that goal so that you're doing it effectively and efficiently. So clarity by far is absolutely number one. And that's core. I don't care if you're beginning in your business or you're established in your business. Lucio and I actually go through a process. Here we are, we're going on our 16th year. And we reevaluate, because what happens is as you go through the cycle, we're now, as we say, new level, new devil, right? When you up level your business, you now have to get again, clarity on where you are now, and then what the next process is. Where are you focusing on? So it's always an evolving cycle. So it's not like you do clarity one time and then you got it for good, right? It's always coming back to that as you're moving through the cycle. So clarity is absolutely number one. The next thing absolutely is getting income coming in immediately. So I'm not going to go great into detail here because I can get off my platform on this one, but understanding what to focus on next that's bringing in the income immediately, because when you have the income coming into your business, then it supports your next steps. But if you're out there going and you're focusing on, you know, I have to get, you know, my Facebook page is built, or I have to get my branding done, or I have to get a book, and you guys, that's putting the cart before the horse, right? Yeah. You want to make sure that you have the, you know, a clear path on where you're going and a product or service to offer that, and then start getting that out there in the marketplace, getting that out there in the world. Those are the first two things absolutely across the board.
I like that you made that clear. And what I really like about this is that these are principles that will still exist in 10 years from now or in 15 years from now. And clarity new level, new devil is so important, because even, if I look at my own business experience and how when I first started out, I had thought I would become a health coach. I mean, that's so silly in hindsight for me. That's so not who I would have been. I lost a few pounds. I thought that qualified me to tell people how to eat. But with that said, it also helped me get clear, because I knew what I didn't want. It helped me get clear on what I did want. But as my business has grown, new level, new devil, I always have to get clear again what it is that I want.
Yeah, because it's so easy to go down that rabbit hole, right? Yeah. Like you go down a rabbit hole and you're doing all these things, and then you literally have to come up for air. And this is one of the reasons that we teach so strongly that having a coach, a teacher, or a mentor, it's critical as an entrepreneur and a business owner. It absolutely is, because you cannot see the forest through the trees. And look, I'm going to be the first one to raise my hand and tell you that the few times that we have gone without working with a coach or a mentor, investing in ourselves and our business, and believe me, it's an investment, okay? Because again, you have, we say every dollar is a reason. And so when you're serious, and if you're treating your business as a business and not a hobby, then you'll invest in a coach or a mentor of some type, because again, they will help shorten that path for you and get clarity on the map to get there. So these are like key things that are like literally non-negotiables. Like Lucho and I will not, it's a non-negotiable now for our business, because the few times we haven't had a coach, that's where I was going, we've gone off track. Like you just got sucked down that rabbit hole, and then all of a sudden, you're like, you're just hassle, you're running around doing all these things, right? And you're not, you're doing the stuff, you're doing the tactics, and not necessarily having the big vision of where everything is going.
And I like that creating income is the second one, because, it's true. Once you have your clear idea, how are you going to make money? It's not on doing the perfect Facebook ad. It's not on, how do people end up, it's concentrating on what, and it's true, no matter what business, these are two principles.
Yes, no matter what business it is, any industry, I can tell you, and again, any industry, and even the big corporations, they do their annual reviews. I mean, we used to do this in law. We'd have our annual reviews going back, where, where are we at? What is, what do our numbers show? Where do we need to focus on? What is an area that we can improve upon, right? It's kind of all those things. But at an entrepreneurial level, it's getting super, super clear, because what happens is we all get, a common thing with entrepreneurs is we're the idea people, right? We got this idea and that idea and the bright, shiny object syndrome, and being able to stay on track, right? And, create something that has results, right? So having the results, seeing that it's coming in, and if it's not, then what needs to be tweaked and modified, right? Understanding how to look at this stuff. So now, once you have a solid business plan, right, that is actually showing that it's converting, right, meaning people are buying it, people are doing it or incorporating it, then, and only then you can begin to grow and leverage and scale and do the other things upon there.
And what do you say to the person that says, yeah, but my brand, I need to, I have to think of my brand? And
if your brand isn't selling anything, then what do you got to I mean, you can look all pretty all you want, but if it's not selling anything, that's the first thing. Your brand will actually go down in flames if you're not producing results. The first thing is to be producing results, getting clients results, getting the, having clients within your programs or your services, right? Making sure that you have something that people want. That's the other thing. Are you just creating something hoping that they're going to come? If I build it, they will come. Maybe not. That's the whole thing. So understanding, like, is this something that your people want? Is there a need for it? Is there a desire for it? Because if you just create something without finding out if they really want it, then you spend all this time, energy, and money on something that will not convert. So
and you ask yourself why too.
Yeah.
But why didn't I built this beautiful, project, launch, program, whatever, but you didn't ask your audience if they wanted it, if it's resonating with them.
All the time. And guess what, you guys, I'm gonna tell you, we made that mistake in the beginning too. We made that mistake in the beginning, which was, oh, this is a great idea. Let's put that out there, right? And then nobody's buying it. Well, did we ask them if that's what they wanted? Or maybe we put it together, but we were missing something critical. So this is where clarity comes in. That's why that clarity is so important, because part of clarity is finding out what do your people want. When you know who it is that you want to serve, you just freaking ask them, right?
Nice.
What would solve this problem, right? If
Yeah,
I could put something together, what would you want in it?
Yeah, surveys. I love surveys and polls, because I think asking people directly is just ask.
They'll tell you.
They'll always tell you what they want. Have people
Yes.
just reply. Have them, ask you questions. Ask them simple questions. You'll be amazed at the replies that you're getting.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So the people who are in your program right now, so they have the clarity, they have the income, and again, I want to make sure that I'm covering the core, because I think it's important. So then after they've done a lot of this stuff, and I don't want you to tell us every secret you have, but like, what is it next that they do? It's like, that's where they can start working on their branding and marketing and what works, because does everything work? The same program that markets one guy, is it still going to work for the other? Is that how you guys help them? Like,
No, we actually work, we create, again, we dive in deep with our clients to figure out where they really are at.
okay.
So sometimes where they think they're at may not be necessarily where they're at, or what needs to have their focus, right? So, but again, if most people, they're doing business, they have a good idea of what's working and what isn't working in their business, right? So then it's a matter of coming in and really saying, all right, so let's just, you've got you're clear on who it is that you serve. You are clear on what their pain points are and what it is that you have to offer. So you put together something that will solve that problem for them, right? So that's the income coming in. So you've created something to solve that problem that they need. So now you have income coming in. So then the next piece is then really looking and seeing, okay, what else do you have in place or not have in place? So for example, the next thing I would say would be strategy. Really strategizing what makes the most sense for that particular business, because business A and business B are going to have two different things. I mean, they're just, even in our industry, every one of our clients is on a different pathway, because the way they want to serve their clients is different. I have one of our clients, all he wants to do is be, he just wants to, serve millions of millions, he just wants to grow big, 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 big. Other people want to really work in the small, more one-on-one, they're not one-on-one, but one to, small groups. Other people want to only work online. So it's really understanding the specific strategy for that business. Now we have a total of, I think I have like 9 steps in our core entrepreneurial cycle. But in the process. So it's just really understanding, again, some people may already have the branding, and then you have to look. And again, if you're doing branding out of order, then maybe the branding doesn't align with what your goal and your strategy is. Unfortunately, I've seen that happen too. So because they put the cart before the horse. If you're running out the gate, like, I want to start my business, let's get the brand going, right? Like, I want these colors and I want this. It's like, what would be a good analogy on that one?
Well, I really think putting the cart before the horse is a very good analogy.
Well, it is. I can't tell you how many times I've seen this with someone wanting to do a book. So again, I'm like, there's a few of us in our industry that don't really have an issue with this. And again, having a book is fantastic if it's the right place and time in your business, right?
Yeah.
So what happens many times is people go and attend a conference or a big event, and there's all these speakers, and they're telling you, you need a Facebook ads program, and you need a book, and you need this. And quite frankly, you guys, if you spend your time, money, and energy on creating a book, and you don't have if you're not clear on who it is that you're serving, and if you don't have a strategy, you don't have money coming in, then you're going to use up all your money on doing a book that isn't anything other than a lead generation, serving a market that you haven't gotten clear on. That, it's just this, it's really sad, because we see this happening all the time. When you're super clear on who you're serving, and you have a clear strategy, and you have the solution to their problem, then possibly then, if that's part of your strategy, might be the right time for a book, for, further along the cycle. But if you pull the trigger too soon, you're spending your time and your money and your energy on something that may not even be in alignment with the direction that you even want to go.
So it's like there's a real order into the core. I mean, it's just, you start with these steps, and while you're following these steps, I can imagine if someone comes to you who's already, established themselves, like they're going to come to you and ask you, like, where are we going wrong?
Yeah, I mean, we see this all the time, and sometimes it's where they're going wrong, or sometimes it's, what is really our next step, like that. They just need help getting clarity. Again,
Okay.
and especially if it's an established business, I'll tell you, many times an established business, like they're doing it, they've been kind of doing their thing, and maybe they've lost, they're not excited by it anymore. And again, Lucho and I went through that. We went through that phase in our business where we were just going through the motions. We had a year, this was back after we moved to, let's say 2000 and, I think it was like 2011, 2012. And we were kind of going through the motions. We were spending all of our money and time on software developers. That's a whole nother story. Because my husband also, he had already developed this incredible software. It's a custom nutrition software, but we were trying to take it from an Excel-based software that had been for many, many years to an online software. And we literally spent a ridiculous amount of money in 4 years invested with 4 different software developers. It was and it just sucked the life out of us. And it sucked the whole passion, because it was just so frustrating, because we had this, and it just was really, you guys, it happens. It just happens. And believe me, if you're talking with software, it happens more than you want to know. But anyway, and it literally we lost our passion for our business. And we were just kind of I don't know what we're going to do. And luckily we re-engaged with one of our coaches. And because again, remember and here's another point. We did not have a coach at that time. We lost our way. Mm-hmm. We lost our passion. We lost our way. And luckily we realized we need help right now, because we're just not, this just isn't, it wasn't working. And, we reconnected with a coach. We invested in her. We invested in her program, and it helped us see again and get clarity. Again, go back into the cycle, get clarity on where we want to go and who we want to serve, and helped us get back on track. So it really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, if you're brand new in business or if you're very, very well established in business. It's understanding where you are now and what is the next right step, versus, again, getting it all mixed up and wasting time, money, and energy.
Yeah, every time my business has grown, it really has literally been as a result of hiring a coach.
Yeah.
If I don't want to grow, I might as well not have my coach.
Yeah, because coaches will also, can I say this? They'll kick your ass. I mean, a good coach will, right? They're going to hold you accountable, and they're going to just say, look, one of our things in our coaching program is, we make ourselves really available to our people, but it's also their responsibility to reach out to us. Because here's the thing, it's their business, and they have to want it more than we want it for them. Because we want it for them so bad. We have it, but again, if they're not going to take the actions necessary, and it shows us a lot. We see a lot, what people say they want and what they show that they want to do many times. And then you have the ones that are just the bright shining stars, who are just, okay, tell me what to do next. Tell me what to do next. Tell me what to do next. And that's the way Lucho and I are. If we want to, when we invest in a coach, we spend a lot of money on purpose, because we want to feel it. Right? We want to say, look, we put, this made us uncomfortable, right? This amount made us uncomfortable, which means we better put up or shut up, right? You tell, guide us, tell us what to do next, and boom. We like to have accountability. We like to have someone telling us, this is what the next step is. Or look at this, or question us and ask us the question. So again, every coach is going to work a little bit differently, but to figure out what kind of a coach you need for different times in your business as well, or different areas of your life.
So what would you tell the viewers today that might, if someone were to work with you, and no matter if they're looking to see what the next level is, or if they're trying to figure out why isn't it working, like what would be one of the next steps someone would take?
Well, first I would say, look, if you recognize that there's something in your business that's maybe stagnant or not moving forward, or there's a frustration, right, or something's not clicking properly, there's a couple of things. Number one, this is going to be interesting. I actually recommend that you step away from your business for a few hours or a day. Like literally, like when the going is rough, right? And you're having one of those days and you're like, I have so much to do, and oh my God, and how's it all going to get done and all that. And, that's the time to say, you need to step away.
Yeah.
Put it down, literally like go away, even if it's 2 hours or 4 hours, something, like step away, and you will get a level of clarity that you will be absolutely surprised. Because what happens is when you start getting really uptight and things are stressing you out, and the creative process stops. Now, for me personally, I work out every morning. And for me, that is when like all my ideas come to me. I'll do a hard workout, but then I do, whenever I'm doing cardio, I listen to podcasts, you guys. And when I listen to podcasts, for you guys, I spent years in the fitness industry, and when I was training to be a fitness competitor, right? Like when I was NPC, you're doing this stuff for hours. I always listen to music, because music, I love music, right? Music gets you going, but I had to switch that up because I knew that I have very limited time to continue to learn. And now I love podcasts because they give me the ideas. I listen to people talk about different, concepts and ideas and things. And I'll be like, I literally will stop on like the treadmill, and I'll be like, note to self, da, 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 and I'll make a note on my phone right in the middle of my cardio, so I'll remember afterwards. And then I come back and, and that's where I get like my best ahas, or out doing a hike, or, just stepping away. So number one, I would say, and find a way to do that serves you. Step away. And then when you do that, ask yourself the questions. So you've got to really dive in and say, okay, where is it that I'm having a bottleneck? Like what's happening? Where is this coming from? Where's the stress coming from? What's working? What isn't working? And then who can best help serve me get through this, right? So is there somebody out there who, serves this particular area? So for me, I'm going to use you as an example. Mm-hmm. I'm your client, and I knew that I wanted to do a summit. At the time, I originally was going to do a telesummit, but I don't do anything like everybody else. I don't pick it up on you. But anyway, I knew I had to do a summit. And so what did I do? I went out and I researched. I asked people for referrals. I went online. Who's an expert in this area? Who knows how to handle this? Who knows how to do it? Because I knew that I can get, I can do the interviews and I can do all that, but I don't want to be putting it all together. And that's not my area. I've never done a summit before. So I luckily found you. I discovered you, and my secret, what is it? You're my secret. Anyway.
Secret weapon.
Secret weapon. Thank you. Sorry. And I discovered you. And of course, then I reached out to you and we connected immediately.
Yeah.
And found out that we're both total techno geeks, and, we get into all this stuff. But it was also about knowing that I needed to invest in bringing somebody in who was an expert at doing this to help guide me. And what did I tell you in the very beginning? Do you remember what I told you?
Oh my goodness. Working with you, you've told me.
Okay, hold on. Hi, kitty. I told you I want you to crack the whip on me, right?
Oh, yes.
Remember that? Like, You're the expert in this, so you tell me what I need to do, right? Like, you tell me what is, in your expertise. What do you recommend? Am I going in the wrong direction? Am I going the right direction? Like, I gave you total, accessibility to me to be able to share your brilliance with me, right?
Yeah.
This was not about me knowing it all and being, any of that. This was, I'm bringing you on board because I know that this is your secret sauce. Like, this is your bet. As Kelly O'Neill would say, this is your bailiwick.
I could use my whip anytime I wanted. You gave me carte blanche.
Yes. So I'm not sure where I was going with all that, but
just basically getting people, finding experts that you went through a stage, from what I understand, and then you ended up finding experts. Like, you found your coach. You look, this is what people should be doing when they're at that stuck stage.
Right.
Take time away.
The stuck stage. That's it. Right. Is reaching out and really finding the right person for you. And you guys do your research. Like, just because you found the first person doesn't mean that that's the right person for you. I spoke to a lot of, quite a few people. I had quite a few referrals. I needed to make sure that we were we were in alignment because, I wanted it to be as much fun for you to work with me as it is for me to work with you. Right. Yeah. And again, now with the coach, yeah, it is. It's grown into so much more.
Yeah.
And with a coach, you guys, it's really understanding, a lot of, okay, I'm going to go on one little rant here, but the coaching industry has changed a lot over the years. And a lot of people basically are putting up their little sign that they're a coach. And so I'm going to just caution you, for those of you, on this, caution you to make sure that the coach has actually done what it is that they are coaching on. So like I said, Lucho and I have been in business as entrepreneurs for 16 years. So when we started out, we work with the clients and clients. And we have very, very few private clients anymore. We train the trainers. So we're a B2B business now, not a B2C. So it's not, we work with other businesses. We have a couple of private clients, and that's it, very, very few, because we work with the other businesses. So it's understanding that as a business coach, we are bringing hands-on experience, not only with what we have personally done, but now what our clients are bringing to the table. So we have results. We are results-driven. Yeah. So I would encourage you guys to look for results-driven with a coach or a mentor that has experience being, doing it, not just saying, oh, you know what, I went and took a course on Facebook ads and now I'm a Facebook ads coach, right. Again, how much experience do they have? What are the results? How many, who have they worked with? Those kind of things.
Good point. So tell me, what is next for you guys? Like, what's going on in the Lucho entrepreneurial
So this is big growth year for us. So we have a lot happening right now, and I know you kind of know this. So we have a few things because we also don't believe in staying stagnant. We love what we do, and we're continually challenging ourselves to up-level and to grow, and to how do we be of greater service to our industry? How can we be of greater service? So from that, two things have actually arisen. Number one is we are just about to launch an international association. So in doing our research, and we have clients all over the world, our nutrition certification that I mentioned in the beginning, we've been serving clients worldwide since 2003. So we do have clients, in Europe, in Mexico, in Canada. We have a lot of Canadians, by the way. Amazing places, Trinidad and Tobago. We have Italy, all over the world. And so in doing that, we realized that there was no one area where these people could come together in a community and really get, understand this core entrepreneurial path, understand the process and have access to tools and resources to ensure that they're staying on track. Right? They're not going off and, wasting the time, money, and energy. And so we are in process right now. We're in pre-launch of the International Association of Health and Nutrition Business Owners. That's a lot to say, which is IAHNBO.org. And that will be going live later this month. And right now we're in pre-launch, so we are actually offering a charter membership. So one of the things I wanted to offer for your amazing tribe and listeners is a 30-day free access to our charter membership, which will be closing very, very soon. And so what we're doing, because this is in pre-launch, we're doing like a ridiculously like low entry point for the association because it's not actually open yet. But we wanted to offer a lifetime charter membership for $10 a month, which is nuts. Nuts.
$10.
Yeah. $10 a month when they come on board as a charter membership. And again, for your listeners, we're offering 30 days free. Now you lock in that, the $10 a month as long as you stay current. If you cancel it or don't stay current, then it will go to the then price. Now the charter membership is only going to be open for a couple more weeks. So again, if you're listening to this or watching this, after the charter membership is closed, I actually want to make sure that you guys can still come on board with at least 30 days free. So we have, can I share this now?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, okay. So we have a gift number one for you guys is 30 days free into the association. So right now, the link, I think you're going to have the link posted, right?
The link is below.
The link, okay, yeah. So the link will be below for what is now the charter membership. So that's 30 days free and then $10 a month for life. Now, once the charter membership closes, and if you guys access this after that, you're going to use WES for Women Entrepreneur Series. So WES as in Sam, 30. And that will, whatever that link is down below, that will give you 30 days free into whatever the current membership is. So that you guys can get in there, check it out, see all the amazing things that we're putting in there, which is really, really exciting.
That's amazing. I have to ask you, I'm so curious because I love your core. Is core also part of it?
Well, core is not actually, core, we're going to have an outline of core for them, but core requires more hands-on.
Okay.
It really does. So what we're going to do is we're going to give them guidelines of core. By the way, I'm dying right now because your kitty cat is laying on his back and it is the cutest thing in the world. Okay, I'm sorry. That is adorable. Okay, sorry. Okay, sorry, I digress.
Oh my goodness.
He's so sweet. Look how cute. Okay. So the core, we're going to have an outline of the core, but core really does require hands-on. So that really leads me to my next amazing offer for your subscribers and listeners. So this is really big, and I really wanted to come in and way over deliver. So my husband and I do what we call the boardroom every 2 months, where we bring in a maximum, generally 10 to 14 businesses into literally like a strategy room. And we spend 2 intensive days in strategy working on the core, and what each business is, what their next step is, depending on where they are in the core. So in the what we call CEP, the core entrepreneurial path. So we elicit or we figure out where they're at in it, and then they come into those 2 days. It's, as I said, a very small group. These are all literally, you guys, 5, 6, 7-figure earners. Okay, wow. So this is, really amazing connections. Just like I shared in the very beginning about when Lucha and I participated in our masterminds and all these connections are connections that you'll most likely have for life, and they're incredible businesses, all kind of working on their own CEP and then what their next step is. So that boardroom normally runs $2,500 a person or per business. And as I said, it's 2 intensive days. You have a hot seat. And then of course we like to have fun. So we always do some really cool things, but I have a really cool thing, this next one coming up. Anyway, okay, so this is big. It's normally $2,500 with the code, and we'll put this in the link below. The code is clarity. The word clarity. What we do is we do require an application. So we're going to give you the link, which is our main company. So it's a long one. exerciseandnutritionworks.com. We'll have all this /boardroom. You can go on there. There's an application. You submit your application. Upon approval of the application, you then would enter in the code CLARITY, and you'll get $2,000 off. You get to attend for $500.
$1,000 off?
Yeah, and this is a room generally with our high-level coaching clients. So most of the attendees are paying either the $2,500 or over $10,000 to be there. So we wanted to make this really special because we generally open up about 4 or 5 spots per each boardroom. So we generally have a few. That's why we require an application. And then we can figure out what dates work for them and all of that. As I said, we do them every 2 months, but a $2,000 discount because, again, we want you to experience it because we believe experiential work is probably the most effective work, right? Literally getting away, and this is a key thing. We talked about this earlier, right? Stepping away from the business, taking time away to get true clarity on where you are and what your next steps are.
Wow, thank you for this. That's amazing.
It's a really exciting. I just came up with that last night, by the way, because I wrote you and I'm like, oh yeah, I got a really good one.
And that's all down below, everyone. I want you to make sure that you check this out. That's so generous of you. But I know you as generous, so I'm not surprised.
Well, because we love to do this stuff. Like this is our secret sauce. Like this is our sweet spot. This is what we love to do, is like literally getting hands-on, working, in this with the entrepreneur level, like really diving into their businesses. Between Lucho and myself, you guys, we each have been doing this now, like in the industry over 30 years. So that's 60 years. That's kind of freaky. That's 60 years worth of experience right now. That's a little crazy. But, Lucho, you guys, we haven't even talked about my husband and what he brings to the table. Like, oh my gosh, like Mr. Science background based on everything. And anyway, we have fun. We love to over deliver. We under promise and we love to over deliver. And we have picked some really cool places. Like this next boardroom, by the way, which is coming up the end of, again, I don't know when this will air, but our next boardroom is the end of June. And then we'll have the next one after that will be August. Our next boardroom is in a really, really cool boutique hotel here in Las Vegas. So
that's not bad, huh?
So we like, you know what, if we're going to do this, we want to really enjoy where we're at and how we're doing our business. So this is the beauty of creating a lifestyle business.
And maybe, just maybe, Las Vegas will win the Stanley Cup.
Oh my gosh.
Really excellent, an excellent time to go.
This city is so exciting right now. And sorry, we beat the Canadians. So sorry about that, but
okay.
It's really, really exciting. So, but Las Vegas is it's a fun town. It doesn't have, believe me, we know how to have a good time that is safe and fun. And we always do a little something different. We love to do team building exercises. I'm not going to give it away because, it's a surprise.
Good. And who knows, guys, maybe I'll see you guys there because,
we would love to have you here, Robin. So yeah, we would love to. Well, we're already talking about that anyway. So we're going to get you over here.
Well, thank you, Lisa. I knew this was going to be fun, and I knew that, I'm sure the audience is like, she's amazing. Like, click the link. Let's do this.
Well, here's what I will tell you guys. While we do primarily focus on the health, fitness, and wellness industry, the boardroom can really apply to any industry. So for example, I'm going to just share this if you don't mind really quick. One of our clients right now is a stand-up comedian who is a corporate level leadership coach. So again, you guys, it has nothing to do with health, fitness, and nutrition because these are business concepts. We have another one of our clients, our high-level clients, who oh my gosh, this is really cool. We're developing a course on the mental game of golf. The mental game of golf. I can't really say much more than that, but it's a really huge industry. And it's been very, very exciting to go through this process with them. So you guys, we work with all kinds of businesses. And that's why we have the application process, just to make sure that it's a good fit.
Yeah. Just But that's super. I mean, and then like in the very beginning when you talk about networking and everything like that, that too, for me personally, has been one of the key things that have helped my business is the networking, connecting with others. You know, even as a VA, I've always stayed in the background, but that was one of the things that I did understand, like, you know, talk with others, you know, connect with influencers if you can. And, you know, a lot comes out of that.
Absolutely. I mean, like, you know, right now you're my secret weapon, but should, you know, I have someone who is, you know, I would want to share, like, you're a special resource that I share with our, you know, like, with our high level coaching clients,
Yeah.
with the people who are in the association, right? Like, we love to share these resources, but I also want to make sure that, again, like, you know, we only work with people that we've already either worked with or they come very highly recommended. And that's another thing with the association is it's going to be an incredible resource area to find people that are really, really skilled in different areas. And it's going to be very, very diverse, and it's all business focused. So again, if someone's looking, you know, I need, legally, what do I need, right? We have an attorney who's on staff. We have an insurance person. We have someone in payment processing. We have, again, there's a variety of different key areas to run your business effectively. And again, whether they want to do summits or have someone who's, technology driven and understands how to work with these different things, again, you're going to be an amazing resource for them. So we're there really to provide value and ongoing, there'll be webinars and trainings and articles and other really cool things.
I know, that's what I love about the association is that there's just so much to complete, you know what I mean? Like you said, you have legal, you have all these different resources for someone to be able to have access to them. And I know for a fact that you've got some like really great people involved. So,
and they're all there to be of service. That's what's really, that's the requirement, by the way. They must be there to be of service. Yes, there'll be things offered. There'll be all kinds of discounts and things like that. But in order for them to have access to our members, they must be providing content and resources and information for them.
You guys are amazing.
Oh, it's really fun and exciting. So this is a really big year.
Yeah.
And there's other stuff coming too.
Been a great first part of the year, that's for sure.
Well, it has.
I'm gonna say thank you, and I want to thank our audience for being here today, for tuning in to this great interview. And don't forget to come back for the next one. And I want to wish you all an amazing 24 hours. And I want to thank Lisza.
I want to thank you because you have been absolutely invaluable to us and to myself. And I love what you are putting out there in the world, Robin. That's why we connect so well. So you guys are in the right place, definitely.
Thank you very much.
Love you. Bye.
Bye, everyone.